everybody, welcome back to the HUBient channel. My name is Nikki and I'm so glad that you clicked on this video today. So these past few weeks I've been having a really difficult time. Life has been throwing its punches like it always does, and it's been throwing so many punches, your girl's got a black eye. But because of that, because I've been struggling a lot, I've been trying really hard to take care of myself more and love myself a little more. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because maybe there's someone out there who's feeling a bit like me right now. And I want you to know that you are not alone. But before I start talking about what I do to take care of myself and tips I have for you to take care of yourself and love yourself a bit more, I want to know how you're feeling. Like, just genuinely, how are you doing? Are you good? Are you not so good? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, I hope you don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the HUBient channel, and ring that bell so you're notified every time we upload a brand new video. Oftentimes, people associate Valentine's Day with just romantic love. Now, that's not wrong, it's not bad, but I want you to know that there are different kinds of love. It's not always just romantic. There's love for your family, for your friends, for your pets, for your country, and most importantly, love for yourself. Before I start listing out my tips and recommendations for how you should love yourself and take care of yourself, I do think it's super important to begin with learning what your love language is. Now, essentially, your love language is how you give and, importantly, how you perceive love. So, in the example of a romantic relationship, your partner could be showing you that they love you in their love language, but if it's not your love language, you're gonna have a hard time understanding that it's love. You're gonna think that they're not meeting your standards, etc., because that's just how important your love language is. Now, that kind of goes the same way with yourself. You could be reading so many things online about how to love yourself and take care of yourself, but even if you do those things, it might not feel like it's working because it's not your love language. So super important that you learn what your love language is. And as far as I know, your love language is heavily decided in your childhood / early life experiences. I'm going to list out the 5 love languages and kind of give you a basic understanding of them so that maybe you can understand what your love language is. But I also highly recommend that you do more research about it because you know yourself way better than I do. So first on my list, and like if I do this for anyone, it means I really care about them, and that's receiving gifts. So my love language is receiving gifts. So whenever my friends get me like a coffee, or even if they buy me like a sticker, I'm so grateful. Like, the gifts don't have to be like big and grand, although I do love grand things. I really do appreciate like the thoughtfulness, like, oh hey, I saw this and it reminded me of you, so I wanted to get it for you. The second one is acts of service. Now, acts of service is like doing things for someone. I mean, honestly, the love languages are very straight to the point, but an example would be like doing the dishes for someone because they're not, you know, in the mood, or like helping them run errands. It's acts of service is such like I'm such a softie for people who will willingly do things for you in order to like help you relieve some stress. The third one is quality time. Now, this love language essentially means that they're going to give you their time, their full focus is on you, and they're going to make time for you, because especially this I've seen is prominent in really busy people. If they give you their time, they love you. This is, yeah, especially prominent in super busy people. The fourth one for me is words of affirmation. Now, I don't use this as much, but because, I don't know, like I have 3 different love languages ahead of this. But I do like writing letters and just genuinely affirming my friends, like telling them, you go girl, work, you know, like I support you. Words can have a huge impact on people's lives. So words of affirmation is also really, really important love language. And some people are better with words than they are with actions. And the last one for me is physical touch. I don't know why physical touch is not on the top of my list, but physical touch is, you know, like holding hands, hugs. Some people, my best friend, his love language is physical touch. So, he's very malambing. Hugging and cuddling is like, I don't even have to ask. So physical touch is, yeah, it's definitely not really my top love language, but I see how it can be important for other people. Before I start getting into the love language specific gestures that you should do in order to take care of yourselves, I'm very quickly going to go through basic things that you should be doing to take care of yourself regardless of your love language, because these things are super important and I think they're just the basics, they're the core of self-care. So first and foremost, sleep, rest, get enough sleep. Secondly, stay hydrated. There are days when I'm just in bed like the whole day and I kind of suck at drinking water, so I make it a point to always have a huge cup of water next to me so that I just drink it like, because I'm like, oh, might as well, it's right there. Third, if you're getting enough sleep and you're drinking enough water, please make it a point to eat. I have had bouts in my life where I would go days without eating because I just was not having a good time with life. Thankfully, I have friends and family who remind me to eat and make sure I'm eating well. But even if it's just instant noodles, just get something in your system. Eating is also super important. It's where you get your vitamins, your nutrients. So please make sure you eat. After that, try to get some sunlight. I know some people like to keep themselves in like dark rooms and kind of just under the sheets, but try to get some sunlight. Maybe open your window, let some sunlight in the house. It's super, believe me, the sunlight can change things. It can really like lift your mood. Lastly, for me at least, I think taking a shower is self-care, honestly. Genuinely, like taking a shower, brushing your teeth. Oh, because I know a lot of people who, when they're going through really tough times, they don't shower at all, they don't brush their teeth, and that's okay. Just try your best to take a shower and take care of yourself. It's, again, these are all basic things that honestly you should be doing every day because they are like daily things you need to do, but oftentimes when life gets a little hard, we can forget to do those things. So now I'm going to list out actions / gestures that you can do that are love language specific. Receiving gifts. If your love language is receiving gifts, the way I would recommend that you treat yourself, love yourself, care for yourself is buy yourself a few treats. Oh, gonna get in real trouble. My wallet is not happy with me. Receiving gifts can also be like investments, and when you I know online courses can be a little bit expensive, but it's a good investment for yourself. So I do highly recommend that, although yeah, some online courses are really expensive, but it's an investment. It's something that you're gonna keep with you for the years to come, and it is kind of like a treat yourself kind of thing. This is something I really need to do, and it's book a trip. Trips are not cheap, although they can be if you do enough research, but sometimes a trip is really helpful, with me at least. Whenever I get out of the house, whenever I get out of town, I feel so good. It feels so nice to treat myself with a trip. I need to go on a trip soon. And lastly, you can splurge on that expensive thing that you've been wanting for a long time now. So you can honestly, if your love language is gifts, you don't have to splurge too much, but you can if you want to. Now, if your love language is acts of service, this is how I recommend you take some time off, some me time, self-care time. First and foremost, I like to 1, use a planner, and 2, create a to-do list. So those two things kind of work hand in hand. Now, having a planner / to-do list is like making it easier for myself, because oftentimes I need people to remind me to do things. When you have a planner or a to-do list, you're breaking down things that you need to do in kind of like easier, more manageable tasks. And essentially that's like taking a weight off of your shoulders to just have that, I don't know, because the planner helps and so does a to-do list. It's meant to help you, and essentially that's what acts of service is. Something that's meant to help. They're helping you make things easier. Second thing that I like to do is I like to clean the house. I actually used to hate cleaning the house when I was a kid because I hate chores. But as I got older and when I began to live alone, I understood the value of having a neat and tidy house. Like, it's so nice to come home to a clean house, or even just wake up and see that the house is like neat and tidy and you know where everything is. You don't have to stress looking for things because you know where you put them. And it's really nice to have a tidy house, and it always feels good. It feels relaxing and calming. Lastly, I actually like to cook for myself. Although, because of my first love language, I do prefer ordering out. But sometimes when I kind of want to have that downtime, that me time, cooking for myself feels so nice. Like, it feels so gratifying and satisfying when I make things for myself. So the top two things, honestly, that I really recommend for people whose love language is quality time is, oh, my hair, is one, meditation. Like, holy heck. Meditation is so good because it's time to really reflect and be with yourself and not really be with other people, just yourself. And oftentimes I feel like we forget to spend time with ourselves and talk to ourselves and reflect within ourselves. Another thing is to find a new hobby or rekindle with an old one. So because we've gotten older, oftentimes we get so busy with work, we have no time for hobbies. But when your love language is quality time, you're going to need it. You need to take some time to do something you genuinely enjoy. So why not find something new? Like whether it's dancing or crocheting or taking care of plants. If your love language is words of affirmation, this is something I don't do often, but I wish I did. I do highly recommend journaling, like just writing down how you feel. Believe me, it's so much easier to understand how you're feeling when you say it out loud or when you write it down and you can see it. Go ahead and print those motivational quotes that you see online or even save it on your phone, but it does help to see motivational quotes like in your environment, in your surroundings, or you don't even have to print, you can just write it yourself. Write some motivational quotes that you believe in and keep them in your vicinity, because sometimes all you need to do is look at that quote and you feel a bit stronger and a bit more capable to handle the tough times that are coming your way. And this is something I actually do a lot. I like to write letters to my future self. And this has come in handy so many times. I write letters to my future self that are quite hopeful, quite positive, and whenever I'm having down days and I read them, it's so nice to see how much I care for myself and how much I believe in myself, that I expect my future self to have accomplished so much. And it's just really, it's so heartwarming to see that kind of love from myself. So this is something I do often. I do highly recommend writing letters to your future self. Lastly, if your love language is physical touch, here are the things that I recommend you do. First and foremost, skincare. I tend to neglect skincare a lot, but when I do my skincare, I do feel like I am taking care of myself. Secondly, get comfy clothes. If you guys notice, I'm always wearing like sweaters, like baggy clothing, because I feel like those are super cozy and it just feels nice to wear. So wear some comfy clothes. If you like wearing silk, wear that. If you like wearing cotton, wear that. You know, if you like wearing baggy sweaters, wear that. So here we are. Honestly, I could keep going because I'm such a huge advocate for self-love and self-care. But I don't want to make this video too long. I think it's long enough already. But there are 3 things that I just want to remind you about before I wrap up this video. Like, first and foremost is everyone is going through something. Whether it be big or small, everyone is going through something. So please be kind to everyone and be kind to yourself, because the world is so dark and we don't need to add to the darkness. Secondly, self-love can oftentimes be perceived as selfish. It is not. Just because it's for yourself doesn't mean it's selfish. We tend to think that self-love is me first, but that isn't always necessarily the case. Most times self-love should simply be me as well, because you can still acknowledge everything in your environment. You can take care of everything in your environment. You just so happen to be taking care of yourself as well. It doesn't have to come off as selfish, and it is not selfish to take care of yourself. Please remember that. And third, you cannot pour from an empty cup. As someone who likes to constantly give and care and love, there have been times where I gave so much I didn't have any left for myself. So it's super important to give some for yourself as well, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I just wanted to remind you of those 3 things. And I actually want to hear from you if hopefully you've learned something new from this video. I want to hear what you think your love language is, or if you already know, what is your love language and what do you do to take care of yourself? I would love to know, because I feel like we should be sharing these things. We should be sharing how we take care of ourselves and how we love ourselves, because it can be really difficult. So please let us know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, I hope you don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the HUBient channel, and ring that bell so you're notified every time we upload a brand new video. Again, my name is Nikki, and I'm so glad that I met you here today. Until the next video. Bye!